Pranay sir has quite a lot of experience teaching sociology, has mentored a lot of students. So being like follow whatever he tells and you will succeed. For sociology, I had joined coaching.
Right.
For optional, it becomes sometimes difficult to do it on your own because it requires more depth. So people have done it on their own, but guidance always helps. So for that, I say ki, uh, coaching might be required. You get good resources, you get good mentorship, these kind of things. In sociology, I improved. Sir was there who checked my copies. In that also, the analysis he gave me, that helped me. काफी help किया. My message to all the aspirants of IAS Gurukul, be. I've already told this, but be consistent in your efforts. Uh, be honest with yourself, and everyone can do it. Sociology, I felt I needed assistance. Like even on my own, I don't think I could have read Nitin Sangwan and understood everything. Maybe resources are available online or something, so that might help. But I still feel a little guidance always helps in an optional subject. So yeah, coaching would help. Thank you. Sir. Thank you. Sir.
Hello, Vinayak. Very happy to see you.
Hello, sir. Thank you, sir.
So this year you've scored All India rank, what, 47?
Yes, sir, 47th rank.
Yeah? And so this is just to introduce to the students who are watching. This is Vinayak's second attempt. He had cleared the civil services examination in the first attempt also, and he had secured a rank of 322. And he had been allocated Indian Trade Service, and this year he's improved upon significantly on his rank. All India rank 47 this year, and he's likely to be allocated the service of his choice. Right. So with that kind of a rank, so heartiest congratulations once again, beta.
Thank you.
So which portion of the exam you found academically the most challenging, Vinayak?
Sir, if we talk about different phases, I found mains challenging because I used to find answer writing difficult. I had that fear till the end moment, even in the second attempt. And within that, I found certain subjects difficult. Like I found geography a bit challenging. Then the ethics portion also, somewhere writing certain portions were difficult. And in sociology also certain aspects were difficult, but that varies from person to person. People have different uh, like uh, different strengths and different weaknesses. They like certain subjects, so that is very subjective, but I in particular found these portions tough.
Vinayak, if it's possible for you to turn up the volume.
Yes, sir.
Check. Vinayak, did you prepare separately for the prelims and the mains exam, or was it like a integrated kind of a preparation?
Yes, sir. It was an integrated kind of preparation only. Like I started my preparation in 2018 June, after my college ended, and then till February 2019 almost, it was an integrated preparation. And then 2-3 months before prelims, I dedicatedly studied for prelims, and then after prelims, I studied for mains. But it has to be an integrated preparation. Otherwise, it becomes very challenging to keep pace with both kinds of preparation.
Absolutely. And given that there's a fair degree of overlap in the subject matter, right?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Fine. And I presume for the 2 to 3 months before the prelims, you would have studied exclusively for prelims.
Yes, sir. When in October end, I completed my preparation. Not the preparation per se, but I thought I had done once I had read every subject. Then in October end, I joined a test series. So what I used to do was I used to then study a subject for a week. Like I'm studying maybe modern history for a week. Then on Sunday, I'm giving the test paper of mains, and then on Monday for the same portion, I would give the test of prelims. So that would give me a fair valuation of how I stand in that particular subject with regards to both mains and pre. and that would keep my preparation also integrated. And then, like you asked, from February onwards, like from March onwards, sometimes around Holi, some mid-March something, I started for prelims. I had I was getting good marks in mock tests, and also I had confidence कि I would do well in prelims. So I started a little late. Some people might do it from 3 months also. So
Right. So how many total prelims mocks you would have taken?
sir, in first attempt, I would have given around 30 mocks. 35 mocks I had given. In the second attempt, I couldn't give many mocks, but I still gave a few mocks at least, just because not to do silly mistakes in the exam, like taking the wrong thing, circling the wrong thing, or just keeping time management.
Yes.
And I'd like to mention especially that people should not take CSAT lightly also. Like many of my friends who qualified in the first attempt, who got into services, they were also not able to qualify for CSAT. And CSAT is becoming a little trickier in the sense that the passages are not very easy.
Yes.
Keep a track of the time management and do attempt at least previous year question papers so that you gain skill in that also.
Right. And particularly people in the science and engineering in their backgrounds, they tend to take CSAT somewhat lightly.
Yes. Many people, even I have friends who from IITs and NITs, and they have not been able to clear CSAT just by 2 marks, 4 marks, and it pains a lot when you are not able to qualify CSAT.
It really hurts when you don't do it, right? Right. Regarding mains, how much answer writing for GS mains? How much answer writing practice did you get?
Yes, sir. In the mains, second mains, though I was not able to write much. I followed a different strategy. I did some previous year question papers, and due to some issues, I was not able to write. But I recommend to write at least two full-length test papers of each GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4. People can do this between prelims and mains.
Yes.
And the sectional test papers, I said, some sections, like for me, maybe history or geography was difficult, so I could write that between prelims and mains. The rest of the sectional papers, science, environment, whatever, we should do before prelims. So I guess 8 to 10 tests between pre and mains are good enough. And we should like critically evaluate writing tests and then critically evaluating yourself, improving upon the second test. That is what matters. Even if people write one test and then they get an insight into what was wrong, so that was also sufficient. And with regards to socio, also in the second attempt, I was able to write less tests, but in the first attempt, I wrote around 6 to 7 tests between pre and mains, including two like full length tests.
Right. Also, in your this thing, essay, you have improved upon your score in this attempt, right? In the first attempt, you had 118 in your essay, and this year it's jumped to 137.
Yes. Sir.
So, any insights you would like to share? Writing a better essay?
Yes, sir. Sir, writing a better essay, I again did a lot of practice in the first attempt. Still, I wasn't able to score more because my essays weren't structured. They didn't have that flow. I would just get a lot of content while I was brainstorming. Like 20 minutes, I would brainstorm, and then I would write all the things. But they were not very well structured. So what I improved upon was structuring. The essay should have a smooth flow. And then I had collected certain anecdotes. So I tried to start the essays with an anecdote and try to I had made some ready-made conclusions and introductions. So that also helped. And then the structuring, the flow, those things helped.
Yes, I also tell students that essay is one of the most under appreciated kind of aspects of preparation, and possibly the most rewarding in terms of the amount of input that one needs to give in. Yeah,
Definitely.
Highly rewarding. Given that you don't come up from a sociology academic background, what made you take up the subject, and what was the decision making process, like regarding the selection of optional? How did you zero down on sociology? Because UPSC tells you for choice.
It was not a very rational thing which rational process which I went through. I was with my roommate in the college. Like he was my roommate in old Rajendra Nagar also. So I asked him, he was also preparing. So I asked, what subjects have you taken? So he told sociology. Then I looked at sociology. I saw there are certain chapters like caste, religion, which I wanted to study, which I liked. Then I asked a few people what, like, the optional is good scoring, average scoring, something like that. Told it's good. So I thought, I'll start with this history. I had in mind history also, but then someone told me the syllabus is huge. Sometimes it's low scoring also. So, but it's a personal choice. If anything you can choose. So that's how I chose sociology.
So it doesn't seem a very, should I say, advisable kind of a decision-making process. Nonetheless,
Yeah.
do you regret it in any way, or do you think it served you well in the preparation?
Yes, sir, it served me very well during the preparation. It helped me in other parts of general studies also. It helped me in essay also. And then I never lost interest in it while you have to study significantly for your optional also. So I didn't have to devote so much time. I think it was more rewarding in the sense that I studied less and still got good marks in sociology. So it was a good option for me.
How did you approach answer writing for sociology? Any particular way you would tackle sociology questions?
Uh, So first attempt I always classify my answers into first attempt and second attempt because I improved significantly. So in the first attempt, they were like I tackled the answer, like I gave a decent introduction. I wrote the definition, then I wrote point wise. So basically, it was like having a good introduction, conclusion, and writing point wise. That was all. Second attempt, I tried to prepare the previous year question papers. So in optional, usually the paper gets repeated. Like 2 3 years, you can be predictive also. So
Yes.
you prepare good answers for the questions which have been asked in previous years. I try to make my answers more sociological this time. Like you will tackle many questions which are especially in paper 2 of sociology, which sound very GS like interlinking of rivers, labor laws. So, but if you write them in a manner which is very GS like, you won't get marks.
Yes.
For that, you have to know the syllabus well. It should be in your mind. Well, like when I see integration, I in the first attempt this question came of interlinking of rivers. I wrote a very GS like answer and I didn't get good marks in paper 2.
Also, Vinayak, how many tests you would have written for sociology apart from the actual UPSC papers?
um, so in the first attempt I wrote 6 to 7. Like even before prelims I had given a test series in which I had written 6 7 tests, and after prelims also I had written 5 to 6 tests. But in the second attempt I couldn't write. Like I couldn't write much. None of the essays in sociology papers also I couldn't write much. But I would advise we should write it, because whatever thing we think, like maybe my answer writing in the first attempt helped in the second attempt also. But whatever strategy we make, like I had planned to make more sociological, so I had made some acronym. From this acronym I would do this thing. So until unless you implement it in the test series, you won't be able to do it successfully in the final examination.
I
So
will,
it's very important.
yes, I will categorically advise all students to not follow Vinayak's this thing
Huh.
of not writing answers in the second attempt.
Yeah.
Right? And I suspect that Vinayak would agree.
Yes, sir, definitely. We should do a fair bit of answer writing.
Right. Fine. Uh, in your answers, if I remember correctly, your USP remains your introduction and conclusion, right? These are the two things you focus upon more.
Yes, sir.
And
Introduction, conclusion, some examples, case studies I tried to put in.
and in your
Whatever.
answers, in your introduction, you would particularly try to incorporate a definition or try to give a snippet
Yes.
of what is to follow, kind of a thing.
Yes, so there are different ways to write an intro, 3 4 ways. So I try to vary a bit. Sometimes a definition,
Yes,
sometimes a data-driven intro, or a snip. If not that, then a brief snippet of what I would write in the answer that I would give.
right. And in the conclusion, what I recollect is that you would say talk about the contemporary relevance of a theory or some such
Yes,
thing.
sir. Yes, sir. In sociology, then yeah, contemporary relevance of a theory, or if a critical analysis has been made, then I'd prepared certain statements. Like his Marx's theory still stands tall, even though it has certain its own deficits and some things like that. So
Yeah.
those kind of things I'd like to make. Just I try to see that both in GS and sociology, my conclusions are not too negative or not too critical.
Mm.
Keep a little bit of optimism in them.
And also, most of your answer writing was points wise. Yeah.
Yeah, my
Right.
entire thing was, except for essay, everything was point wise.
And even your handwriting is quite neat and clean, and it's a very readable and simple and easy to kind of read. I should say it's an examiner friendly kind of an answer sheet. Yeah.
Yes, actually, I write in broken, so I had this I was not very confident ki my handwriting, but it's legible. In
Yes.
examinations, few answers do
That
become
is what
difficult to
matters.
read sometimes when in the end you have to write a few answers very quick.
Also, like students get encumbered by these, numerous scholars' names that one needs to incorporate in the answer. So, how would you remember so many scholars' names for different topics in sociology?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is one difficult thing. So what I do was I tried to take out thinkers from each chapter,
Yes.
scholars from each chapter, and I like chapter one may there are say I have number down on 8 thinkers, then on chapter two. So I'd make a separate notebook of them, and they would like if I had revised the sociology syllabus twice, then I'd revise that notebook for at least 4 times. Like people have different ways of uh, writing. So I have given thinkers. I think I have fetched marks because of that. Some
Yes.
people have written uh, philosophies like feminist sociology or Marxist sociology, and then they have not written so much of thinkers. Some people have written examples and case studies. But yes,
Yes.
I strongly still believe that we should incorporate fair bit of thinkers in our answers to fetch marks. And नितिन सांगवान के सीक्वेंस से अगर अलग रखेंगे तो that's good because everyone copies look like same. So use a different source also to add something more thinkers to your dictionary.
Now, moving on, like from your optional, and just to share with everybody, Vinayak has significantly improved his optional score between his two attempts from 236 total in the first attempt in which was CSE 2019 to 277 in CSE 2020. Vinayak, how was your interview experience, if you could share? Given that it was particularly in the pandemic times and
Yes, so my first interview also got delayed. Like after there was 2 months gap, and then there was the first interview.
yeah,
And this time around also interviews were delayed. So my interview was very brief. It was like maybe at max 13-14 minutes. I remember I went out in the 15th minute, and it was not very. Um, I didn't have very high hopes from the interview.
yes.
So I was asked. The first question was, how many treks have you been to? So that was in my hobby section in the DAF. So I told then detail what all treks have you been to? So that was the only question the chairman asked, and then there were some questions on civil engineering, which is my background, and some questions on Madhya Pradesh, and that was it. Like 12-13 minutes was all my interview lasted.
That must be like somewhere internally in your assessment, you would have found that disheartening, right?
Yes, I had
We don't
prepared
want to
quite.
take me in,
I
that's
was
why
in.
they've kept it so short.
Yeah. I had prepared like trade service. I was in trade service, so I had prepared quite a lot on trade service.
Yes.
So not being asked a single question on that, because usually if you tend to have a job in hand or if you have done some job in past, your quite a bit of your interview goes in that direction. But mine didn't even touch that side of the thing. So I was a bit disheartened, but
Sure.
all is well that ends well, like
Yes.
you said.
Yes. And fine. Vinayak, what was your daily routine during the preparation? Because why I ask you particularly is because you seem to be one hell of a efficient fellow when it comes to using your time. I've
Yes,
lost.
sir.
Yeah, you back.
Yes.
So, how was your daily routine?
Uh, so in the morning, I woke up at 8, 9, something like that. That thing changed. Sometime I used to sleep late, or that routine changed in 3, 4 months. But I woke up and there I read the newspaper. The newspaper made me like some. Now though there are many coaching institutes which are giving videos, so that will also help. But without reading newspaper, I think कि मतलब दिन सही नहीं लगता था. So I try to read newspaper daily. Then after the newspaper, I would do in the initial phases of my preparation, I would divide my day into sociology and then GS. But in later phases, then like if I am say studying history, then I would study till like lunch, then have lunch, then I'd sleep for an hour. Then again, I'd study for a couple of 8 to 10 hours of study was there constantly in my preparation.
Right.
Then in the evening or something, I could go out, eat something, some things like that. So not something which I followed very strictly, some strict routine, because I thought I won't be able to follow that. So something which you can't follow, I didn't think I should make. I just had targets in mind, like in 1 week I should complete this, and that I should complete anyhow. I would keep a buffer day, like till Saturday I have to complete something, and then Sunday I would have buffer key in case something is left. I'd complete that.
That's a
So
very
that
good
is the
idea, actually, to have a
yeah.
buffer day, because otherwise, people keep targets, but they remain unachieved. And that
Yes, sir. That gives a
demotivates
certain incentive also. Since it's a buffer day, if you have completed everything on Saturday, you can enjoy the Sunday
you. Yes,
after the test. Or if you haven't, then you complete that whatever is left.
like that idea.
Yes.
Vinayak also, see, in today's day and age, we have over supply of information and knowledge and content, right? There are multiple good books, websites, everything dishing out content, magazines. So, how do you select minimal resources?
Uh, so I think we what I did was I looked at certain toppers strategy videos in YouTube, and
Yes.
then 4 5 people what I found in common कि हाँ history spectrum से पढ़नी है,
Yes.
sociology लक्ष्मीकांत से पढ़नी है. So I stuck to those books. अब if anyone is saying कि नहीं DK Basu is also required, so I thought कि no, I'll stick to one book. I'll
Right.
stick to minimum resources and try to revise them multiple times. So that is what I did. I took some topic, जैसे I studied sociology, geography from NCRT, but I found कि नहीं, like I told, it was challenging. So then I
Yes.
referred to PMFIS, and then PMFIS resource was the throughout for me, like from first attempt to second attempt. So choose one source, you take multiple toppers strategy, then you can narrow down on this resource, read it once. If you find it's good, then stick to that resource and revise it multiple times.
Right. Fine. And now coming to notes making. Yeah. How did you go about making notes? Again, did you make notes for everything, particularly current affairs, since you have new content being produced every day? Or
Yes.
was it only the standard portions that you prepared notes for? Also, were the notes prepared in digital format or handwritten?
Yes.
A combination of the two.
Sir, I was not very fond. Again, like I didn't like to write much, so I didn't make handwritten notes much. My friend used to use OneNote. I found that idea good. But then again, people have this habit कि copy paste ही करना है, तो फिर वो भी बहुत bulky बन जाता है. So I made notes of ethics. Like ethics, I had only 20 pages notes, which I revised in both 20 to 25 pages notes is all what I studied in ethics. So ethics I made notes of certain portions. Notes are very handy in the sense कि when एक दिन बाद आपका GS1 GS2 का पेपर है, you have to revise things. आपको world history पढ़ना है, आपको geography भी पढ़ना है. So if you have something in brief, that would definitely help. So या तो आप first notes making में read the book once or twice, then start underlining it in second and then make notes. Because if we start making notes in the first reading, second reading, everything seems important. So in second, third attempt, say second, third reading, we get to know. So that is how I proceeded about my notes. Rest mostly I underlined in the books itself, folded pages of books. So that was my idea. That would work for me.
Yeah, fine. Also, if you could highlight the importance of having multiple revisions, right? Like how many revisions would you have undertaken for the optional, for the GS portions?
Uh, so three, four revisions, I guess. Like I completed my syllabus in October.
Hmm.
Then I did one revision till December, January. Then some things I was able to revise twice,
Yes.
and then I left it prelims के लिए फिर पढ़ाई करी. Prelims के 2.5 months में I maybe revised everything twice.
Hmm.
2.5 months is a good period to revise everything twice in prelims. Then again after mains, I studied everything once between pre and mains and revised it again before examination. So 4 5 times. People can do it. Like I have heard people doing it 10 times, and even I have heard people doing it 3 times. So there is nothing which is optimum. It's किसी को जल्दी याद भी हो जाता है, किसी को थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है डेटा याद करने में, चीजें ऐसे. तो people should carve out their own thing, but at least 3 4 revisions तो are required.
Right.
Yes.
Also, can you bust some common myths associated with this examination and this preparation journey?
Yes. So there are many myths associated with the examination. One, like you talked, one is the handwriting one. You
Hmm.
don't need very flowery handwriting, neither do you require very flowery English.
Yes.
You can use simple normal English. Then there is one myth regarding taking Hindi medium.
Hmm.
So we have seen less people coming from Hindi background. But if you choose your optional also somewhere like if you choose anthropology or subjects like geography, so terminology becomes difficult to write in Hindi. So that is somewhere I talked to few people. They told ki it's difficult. But if you choose subjects like Hindi literature, then people from Hindi background are also qualifying. So that is one myth. Then whichever background you come from, engineering, non-engineering, commerce, whatever you come from, whichever rural, urban background you come from,
Hmm.
resources are available online also these times. So even if you come from a humble background, it's not very difficult to gather resources. Mentorship is available. Write full length test. 20 questions आप एक साथ नहीं लिखोगे तो that won't help. हमारी स्पीड हमेशा शुरुआत के questions में slow रहती है and it speeds up at the end.
Absolutely.
So do write. Test नहीं लिखना is also a myth कि test लिखे बिना हो जाएगा ये. You should write tests. They do help a lot. ऐसे एथिक्स इसके लिए मिथ है कि नहीं प्री के बाद कर लेंगे. That is also a thing कि people score low marks in essay and ethics and then get eliminated. So that is also one myth. So there are these are the major things. Optional में कोई बहुत scoring जा रहा है, we should choose this optional. कि maths बहुत अच्छा scoring कर रहा है, choose what you can stick to, what interests you, because you are going to spend significant portion of your preparation in that optional. Maybe you won't qualify in the first or second attempt, third, and so 3 years you have to study that optional. So that should be interesting, and you should be able to add value to GS from that and add GS to that subject. So these are the main things.
एक विनायक ये बताइए बेटा कि how do you remember so much information? That becomes very challenging because as a UPSC aspirant, you also come from an engineering background. You come across so
Yes,
much
sir.
of new content across subjects, history, geography,
Yes, sir.
sociology, IR, polity. There's a lot of remembering which needs to be done,
Yes, sir. So
which is
the
quite challenging. Yeah.
yes, sir, remembering things is definitely challenging. So one thing is we have to revise it multiple times. Then we have to filter out information. Like if we already have data for a question on general health, we have two sets of data. Then we do not need to remember everything कि malnutrition इतने से कम हुआ है, stunting इतने से इतनी कम हुई है,
Hmm.
and things like that. एक data या दो data which you can quote, remember that, things
Yeah.
like that. Then I had made certain acronyms. So acronyms help. कि आप
Share some silly acronym that you would have made.
um, अभी तो not able to really I'm not able to recall कोई acronym,
Feeling
but
shy.
no, I'm not feeling. I'm really not able to recall any acronym. But yeah, I made acronyms. कि if say किसी के चार, if there are 4 points to a question,
Hmm.
and this question you think it's very important,
Yeah.
then the initials of those questions start from P, I, P, and E, four. Then you can make an acronym pipe, and then you can remember from that. So some those kinds of things. Then I made certain stories also related to my friends or something like that. किसी का नाम कहीं पे आ रहा है तो
Hmm.
कुछ ऐसा करके याद कर लिया कि जिससे कि याद रहे थोड़ा सा चीजें, स्पेशली मिनरल्स वाले पोर्शन में कि कौन से स्टेट में ज्यादा है। तो
Yes.
इसमें मेरा कोई स्टेट में उसमें फ्रेंड है तो वो ऐसे याद कर लिया कि he likes this or something like that. So just
Imagine
make
him with that
stories.
philosophy.
Yeah. Too much of this is also thinking you can't remember too much of stories also in it. So you have to pick and choose कि किसी किसी चीज में बना ली जहाँ पे you think कि relevant question आ सकता है, कुछ
जी,
acronyms बना लिए और कुछ revision से। तो these things I think are sufficient.
ठीक है। इसमें आप ये बताइए विनायक, you should share with others what is that key to success in this exam. I mean, you've cracked this exam twice, and in your first and second attempts, it's very enviable. Yeah. So, and people really, genuinely, you would have seen amongst your friends, there are so many people and people with caliber and with the right intent and everything who keeps logging and without meeting success.
Yes, sir.
So, give three key tips for success in this examination.
Um, at the outset, I'd like to mention that there is no one key. Like everyone has their own key. People have tried different things, and different things have worked, and the same things have not worked for different people. But one thing what uh, a person requires is perseverance and consistency in the preparation.
Yes.
You might fail. You might fail in a stage of examination or in the examination and attempts, but you need to persist.
Hmm.
Then you need to be consistent in your efforts. एक दिन 16 घंटे, अगले दिन 2 घंटे, फिर 4 घंटे, it won't work. Work. Be honest with yourself. Do your own critical analysis. आप मतलब कि if you have not qualified, say mains this year, and you have not got good marks in ethics, then you shouldn't be like कि मेरा सर दुख रहा था या फिर मेरा क्या नाम से पेपर में ऐसा क्वेश्चन आया जो इस बार मैंने पढ़ा नहीं था, या फिर मेरे कोचिंग वालों ने ये नहीं पढ़ाया मुझे, या फिर पेपर 3 के बाद मैं थक गया था। यू शुड बी ऑनेस्ट कि हाँ मुझे नहीं आता था, आई नीड टू वर्क ऑन दैट। आंसर राइटिंग नहीं कर रहे हो तो बी क्रिटिकल ऑफ कि हाँ मुझे आंसर राइटिंग करनी है, हाँ दिस पोर्शन इज नॉट गुड इनफ, आई नीड टू वर्क अपॉन दैट। सो फाइंड योर ओन problems and get them sorted, and then play upon your strengths. Like everyone has their own strengths. Mine was कि if I मेरे को कुछ चीज लगता था कि ये कम चांस है आने का पेपर में, तो भी मैं उसे कभी कभी पढ़ लेता था। इफ आई फेल्ट इन एग्जामिनेशन में जाने के पहले कि यस आई हैव स्टडीड एवरीथिंग, आई वाज कॉन्फिडेंट, सो आई प्लेड अपॉन माय कॉन्फिडेंस कि हाँ आई हैव रेड एवरीथिंग नाउ, अब आ जाए जो भी आना है, आई विल समहाउ ट्राई टू क्रैक इट अप। तो प्ले अपॉन योर ओन स्ट्रेंथ्स। किसी को कोई जॉब कर रहा है तो उसको है कि मैं पढ़ नहीं पा रहा हूँ, जिसके पास जॉब नहीं है उसको लगता है कि यार जॉब भी नहीं है ये, तो बोथ हैव देयर ओन स्ट्रेंथ्स। किसी के पास टाइम है, किसी के पास सिक्योरिटी है, सो जस्ट थिंक अबाउट दैट एंड देन अटेम्प्ट।
एक ये बताइए विनायक बेटा कि what motivated you to prepare and to take on this exam despite its insecurities that this exam entails, right? Given that you don't have a background like in civil services in your family, right?
Yes
Your
sir.
dad is a businessman and your brother is in the law field, right?
Yes sir.
So
Yes sir.
there's no family
So,
connection to civil services, and so what motivated you better?
so initially what motivated me was it UPSC, the examination itself, the service, IAS, other services, they've been considered a merit marker. So whenever in school also, like some DM would come to felicitate, or they would come, they would have a lot of respect. They would say good things. People would say if they have work, people would say good things about them. So that social appreciation somehow motivated me. Ki हाँ, that's something to achieve. Then when as one grows old, then I came to know how important they are, what kind of changes they can bring. If you want to bring a certain change at the ground level, you have a big machinery to mobilize. So these kind of things then motivated me, and then my parents also kept motivating me. So all in all, these all factors, the social appreciation, the ability to do a lot of work and make change at the ground level, these kind of things motivated me, sir.
Also, like, did you feel insecure that you were without a job in hand? A lot of people have those kind of insecurities.
Definitely, sir. So
And this
like,
is a long drawn process, the examination process, right?
yes, sir. So like in final year of my college, I got a job in Larsen and Toubro, but I didn't join it. Then I again had a chance at IOCL. So
Hmm.
I didn't prepare for that interview. I gave that interview. So till the moment I had gotten into the service, I was kept thinking कई बार कि यार वही job लग जाती तो मतलब कि शायद
Yes.
तो at times when you don't have a job, so it is मतलब you feel that insecurity कि हाँ कोई प्रोफाइल भी बिल्ड नहीं किया. Some people come after doing jobs, तो कोई प्रोफाइल भी बिल्ड नहीं किया है, यहाँ नहीं होगा तो फिर कैसे. But हाँ, that's for a brief moment when your purpose should be larger than the pain.
Hmm.
So that is there कि sometimes होता था, but then you have good friends, family supporting you, then you feel कि नहीं यार, the process makes you gain a lot of knowledge, lot of things, so you'll be able to do something in your life.
Right.
So that one does not have to be insecure about. There's no harm in having a plan B also,
Hmm.
getting like giving other examinations also. There's no harm in that also, and there's no harm in preparing single-handedly for this entire examination.
Plus, in your case, you also had age on your side.
Yes.
Frankly, when you are younger, you have more hope with life,
Mhm.
with your own
Yes.
prospects. Fine.
Yes.
Also, tell us, like, what were the very significant contributory factors for the improvement in your marks and your rank between the two attempts? You've seen a very
Mhm.
drastic improvement.
Yes, sir. Uh,
Consequently, the service that you'll get.
so the major things that uh, led to my improvement was I was able to identify the issues in my first attempt. One thing was I referred to previous year's answer papers this time. So that helped a lot. I got कि किस तरीके से questions आ रहे हैं. What have helped. And my wife helped me a lot. I got married between these attempts. So wife helped me a lot in these times
Ji.
uh, regarding as how should I prepare, what should be my approach. So these things, just identifying my mistakes and solving previous year question papers, those things help.
Okay. Also, Vinayak, what has been the role of your family in your success?
So it's been a tremendous, huge role. मतलब I they have been supportive through and through. कभी मेरे को लगा कि नहीं हो सकता या कुछ है तो देव कि नहीं होगा तो क्या हो जाएगा. Just try और वेट जितना हो सकता है उतना करो. स्ट्रेस मत लो. These kind of things I could talk to them freely कि नहीं नहीं हो पा रहा है. 3 महीने बाद ही प्रेपरेशन के I talk to my mom. I like कि कहाँ आ गया मैं, मतलब कि ORN में यू इतने सारे बच्चों को देख के ऐसा लगता था. आंसर राइटिंग लाइक व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड माय यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन इन ORN, आई डिडंट नो कि मेंस करके एक आंसर राइटिंग भी करनी होता है. आई न्यू कि एक प्रीलिम्स वाला पेपर होता है. सो उस समय बड़ा शौक लगा था कि यार मुझे तो एग्जाम के बारे में नहीं पता है. So everybody was very helping. My wife helped me a lot in this preparation, motivated me कि नहीं trade service के बाद I was like कि पढ़ लिया, got the service. It's good. It's a good service indeed. But like she motivated me कि नहीं, you still have age on your side, you still have attempts. So why don't you try? And like so, she also helped me a lot. My brother helped me. So everyone, my cousins, like my cousin brother Shanj Bhaiya, my roommate Harshit, these both helped me a lot. So 5 6 people to these they helped me a lot. My friends kept motivating me. So having a good social circle, कोई demotivating person से तो I didn't talk कि किसी ने बोल दिया कि नहीं होगा तो नहीं बात करनी उससे. तो having good people around is a key.
Like Karthik is younger to you, right?
Yes, so 1 year young.
So did he also, and he's also not preparing for the exam.
No, he's not
Did he
prepared.
also, like, how would he have contributed by not nagging you or something?
No, sir. Like I had to send my essays to him. So
Okay.
he reads a quite a lot of literature. So he would review ki yaar nahi essay mein you have to improve upon this, you have to improve upon that. And then small things also like I didn't do forms वगैरह वाला thing and I just told him कि यार ये कर देना. So he is supportive through and through. So these every way he helped.
You got married to Devsmita just after the means, and
Yes.
that would have been an adventure in itself. So she was also like supportive of your attempt. Yeah.
Yes, through and through. Yes, it's a very like people have. I have seen friends whose families are not supportive. Their parents are like, "अब कितने attempt हो गए?" कि their parents are not supportive. कि job करते करते दो job छोड़ के नहीं करना है. And they like they have their journeys to tell. Then when they qualify, then for them it's been a very hard journey. They have battled through many no, but for me it was like a very supportive environment. I never had this issue with parents not supporting या कभी money का उतना problem हुआ है कुछ इस type के challenges I didn't face. So in that aspect I felt कि थोड़ा I was lucky.
Today you leave for this thing,
Yes, I'm actually yes sir.
leaving for home. And so when are you reporting in Missouri?
Sir, I'm reporting on like we've still not been given the dates. It'll be a staggered entry due to COVID. So from 1st to 5th December, someday in between, we'll have to report.
Acha, acha. Chaliye,
Yes,
all the best. And if you need anything, just let me know. Yeah.
sure, sir, sure.
God bless. All the best.